What's up, y'all? Welcome to Better Marriage Daily, where we give you tips on how to love each other in spite of each other. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
Lord have mercy. Y'all, we going to kick the ant pile today. You hear me, V?
I hear you.
We're going to kick the ant pile today.
A little bit.
So, there's a whole bunch of, because of course we're looking for topics all the time. We want to try to bless folks and try to, give stuff that'll help them in their daily lives and whatnot. And we come across this thing in which people are saying that a version of being married is to live in separate homes. There's also, let me go and section that off so I can get y'all right. Separate homes, separate rooms, and separate cities. We won't even get into countries because that's not a marriage. That is what do they call it? A fly out.
There's a term for it.
That's a fly out or a hookup.
Yeah. There's a term for it.
Look, that's a when you out the country, it don't count. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go cheat. We out the country. It don't count. If it don't count if you cheating out of the country. It don't count. Okay, so let's go and jump in it, V.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's start off with let's start off in the household, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're married, but you live in the house in separate rooms. Go.
Okay. Ooh. Living separate.
I'm drinking some water. You say, ooh,
Live in the same home, but you are in separate rooms, as in you sleep in separate bedrooms. Correct?
You got your room. I got my room.
I got mine. Well, I've only seen that work like back in the day. Like you remember back in the day?
They had separate beds, though. They had two single beds in the room. They didn't have separate rooms.
Well, no. I've had family members who had separate rooms.
Okay.
They didn't have separate rooms. Like they lived in separate bedrooms.
Why?
I was a child. I wasn't going to ask any questions.
I'm not asking no questions.
But I know that's how they lived. She had hers and he had his.
Mm-hmm.
And, that was strange. I mean, as a kid, I'm thinking like,
why he got his own room?
Yeah. And we would go over there often. So I knew it to be their separate rooms. And so I've seen that. I have not seen personally people living in the same house and having twin beds, sleeping in the same room in different beds. No, I haven't seen that. I've heard of it, but I actually got to see.
My dad's mom and dad, they had their own beds
in the same
bedroom,
same room.
Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, we'd go over there. They had two beds. Now, eventually, I think they might have had a bed they slept in together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like when I was growing up, I remember that distinctly. There was like two beds in there.
Did you find that odd because you grew up in a home where they slept in the same bed, right?
You know why I didn't find it odd?
Why?
Because being that we were born in the 60s, there were a lot of TV shows. That showed
they sure did.
That showed the couple sleeping in different beds.
Okay, yeah. Now that you say that, yeah, I recall.
Ain't that a trip?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, when I saw my dad's parents living like that, I was like, "Ooh, they living like the people on TV."
Okay, I see where you get that from. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if Leave It to Beaver. I don't know if they had separate beds or not.
I don't remember. I didn't really look at Leave It to Beaver.
We don't have nobody here to look it up.
Yeah.
Y'all could look it up and see. But it was a thing. It was a thing in the I guess in the early days.
In the early days,
the early 1900s.
And as we know, they all did it. Every, blacks,
And
whites,
and you
they
know
all
what?
did it.
And that may have been a situation of life imitating art
Maybe so.
because they didn't back in the day, they had the whole morals clause and
Mhm.
whatnot, or the whole issue with showing things the way they are. They made it the way they fancified it or whatever for the people who were super duper conservative and didn't want to see
Mhm.
that kind of thing. But maybe in that case, a life imitated
Mhm.
art, in that they showed you the married couple sleeping in separate beds
Mhm.
only because they couldn't show you the married couple sleeping
Being
together.
in bed together, yeah. And then, so if it's shown and everybody in the country and the world is watching, they're watching these shows, then people kind of picked that up and made it their own, maybe.
Well, the
you know.
Cleavers sleep like that, so we got to sleep like
Yeah.
that. That's how they sleep on TV. So we were sleeping in one bed. We must be poor if we ain't got our own bed.
I don't know,
It's
but it was
amazing.
odd. But it was odd because I grew up with my parents sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, well, yeah, we grew up.
It-
We 60s babies,
right.
So we're 60 born, 70s raised,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. But
even though you was old in the 70s,
right. But
You
truly,
full on middle school, and no, I'm joking.
but truly, the couple that I spoke about earlier, they were older
Yeah.
than my parents.
Mhm.
They were 20, 25 years older than my parents, 30 years older than them.
Okay.
So, they had a huge home too. So they had extra bedrooms. So maybe that's how it came about that they were in separate rooms because they had rooms galore and they didn't have any kids. They never had kids together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked.
And yeah, it worked.
And it worked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like I said, so you had the thing where they slept in separate rooms. I've seen the thing where they slept in separate beds. So is that a thing where, well, when it's that time, you go, your bed or mine? Or was there one bed
Maybe.
or one room that was for the business to be handled?
Or I mean, if we could go back and talk to those people as the grown people we are, we would ask,
I'll be asking
okay, so does that mean that there was no intimate, no sex, no nothing having it? Once you decided you were going to do that, were y'all still together, or was it like over? I would love to know that.
Oh, you went that route.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was just wondering, as I got older, every once in a while, I'll think about that. And I would like, I wonder if it was just over, or, how did that come? That was just odd to me because separate rooms, that's just odd.
Yeah.
And it's not like you were having kids come back to the home, like they had kids and you were having kids come back, grandkids come on weekends or whatever. They just, that's how they roll.
Well,
so
for my grandparents, my dad's, like I said, my dad's mom and dad, funny thing for me, that might have been like contraception because they had 14 kids.
Maybe so.
So, separate beds, what I'm saying? You got to make an effort
to
get into that other bed. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know where that came from.
And now we ain't got too many people in the family to ask anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's pretty wild. But anyway, yeah, they slept in different beds and it worked.
Right.
Different rooms and it worked. So how do you feel about different beds? Let's go down that one first.
I'm not for it. Not unless someone is sick, like you have the flu.
Yeah.
You're really sick and you don't want to expose your partner to that, your husband, your wife to that.
Thank God we have another room when that happens.
Or you're just being, you've had an argument or whatever, and you're angry, and then one person decides to go in the guest bedroom, which we've seen that many times. Like, they're mad and they're not, somebody will even sleep on the couch because they don't want to sleep in the bedroom, that kind of thing. But
you want to pause on that for a second?
What do you mean?
I don't think you should do that.
No, I'm saying in sickness.
No. You passed sickness. You mentioned how people get,
No, I'm saying people. I don't believe in that.
No, I'm saying we talking about it.
Okay.
People who get banished to the couch or banished to the guest room.
I really don't believe you. I can say for myself that I wouldn't just tell you to, go in the other room or something like that. and just throw your blanket and pillow, whatever. I'll tell you to go on the couch. Because I feel like this, that bed is just as much yours as it is mine. Now, I may not want to be touched, you know, and you know, we have a king size bed, so you don't ever have to touch me.
You don't ever have to touch me.
And even if my the thing that I do at night is roll over on your side, if
And
I'm upset,
send that
even
thing
in my
with-
sleep, I know that I don't want to
Like
roll
that,
over.
on the very edge, on the very edge of the bed.
You know, even in my sleep, I know that I don't want to, you know, touch you or anything like that. But I just, yeah, that going to another bedroom or somebody sleeping on the couch. No, I don't really agree with that, because I just don't think that, you know, I don't think it's fair to banish somebody from another room or, to another room, or am I being mad enough to say, hey, I'm going in the other bedroom because I'm upset with you? No.
Just being upset, just regular old everyday upset,
No.
stuff like that.
No.
Now, if they cheated,
You know, I can't say that I wouldn't. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't make. I can't even say that I would say, well, I love my bed. So if that would happen, I'll tell you, hey, we have 2 other guest rooms. Avail yourself to one. I don't know, you know, because you never know.
you never know till you
How
get in
you're
that
going to
situation.
feel, or I would be so upset that I wouldn't even want to be in that bedroom. I may want to go to another.
You may remove yourself from the situation.
Yes, absolutely. So I can see myself possibly doing you know, one of those things.
Yeah.
At least one of those things. If I'm that mad, that angry, you know.
But in the same house, though, in my opinion, you know, when you talk about sleeping in separate beds in the same room, I mean, you know, that room would have to be really big, because I can't sleep in a little bitty bed.
Mhm.
I mean, I won't sleep in a little. I can.
Yeah.
I can sleep anywhere,
Yeah.
but I won't sleep in a little bitty bed. And that's why we got that king size bed, so you can have all of your area and I can have all of my area.
But things are different now. The way people live, we live differently than they did before.
What you mean?
You know, as in the amount of space that we have in a home.
Oh yeah,
You
and
know,
the amount of space that we require.
Right. Yes, that we
are
require,
definitely
'cause
Americanized.
yes, we are.
We want some space.
Yes, we are. We want space. Yes.
Give me some room.
Yes.
Bag. Give me
Yes.
50 feet.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the trip though, man. It's like, you're just thinking about it. It's like, so if you get just a little mad or whatever, like that, the TV stuff, that always used to blow my mind. It's like, I ain't gonna sleep on no couch. I look good sleeping on the couch when I got a big old Tempur-Pedic king size in my room, just because you mad. Stay on your side.
Right.
Just stay on your side.
Mm-hmm. But
You know.
maybe sometimes they don't want to breathe the same air. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. You just never know what goes through people's heads. Like, I don't even want to breathe the same air as her. I don't want to breathe the same air as him.
That's definitely what they're saying. That's definitely what they're saying.
You know.
And then all the things that you used to think was cute. Oh, the way you do your lips when you sleep, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're mad, the puffy lip having self sitting up on the sides like you sucking air all night long. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that.
It's funny how things get annoying when you're angry.
Flip. It's the flip.
Yeah.
It's the flip. Okay, so yeah, because I mean, I believe that it just, you give room for separation. You start
You do.
separating there, then what's next?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So same room, Sean and Vanessa say same bed.
Same bed. Yeah.
Same bed. Not 2 different rooms. Now, same house, different rooms.
It just depends. I mean, when you're upset with each other, I can't remember a time where I was so upset that I didn't even want to be in the same room with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, we can be in the same room and not talk, be staring
All
at
the
the
time.
television. We do that
All
on
the
a
time.
regular basis, and not even mad. And we're just into different things, or into the movie, or in our phones, computers, or whatever. We do that all the time. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we could be in the same, you know, It doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. You
Yeah.
know, we're not walking on top of each other in here, so it just doesn't matter to me.
Bumping into each other all
No,
hard.
no,
Throw a shoulder.
no. We have plenty space.
Throw an elbow when you pass by.
Yeah.
Ah.
We have that's being petty. Yeah, that's being petty.
Throw a little
But-
elbow. Or
but
do like you
no,
do, just walk with your
no.
head down like you don't see me here, walking straight through me.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I had plenty of practice. I had
Yes, you can.
plenty practice. Yeah,
Plenty.
plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So same house, same. See, my thing with the same room, and then I believe same house, different rooms. I believe that also depends on how OCD the partner is,
Mm. Okay, explain that.
because a lot of men will be like, "Oh hell yeah, let's do that, right?" Because then they can be in their rooms, or I say men. Let me not
It could be
generalize.
women too.
The person who is the least neat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And not have to be. And not
I ain't
have
got to make
be,
my bed. I ain't got to worry about all
Not
that.
have to be harassed
It-
about picking things.
It just depends
up.
on how OCD the partner is,
Right.
because I know in this household, there is no way in God's green earth that I could have my own room and leave my room tousled, because this one would not be at peace,
I would not.
because that room with the door closed is not tidy.
It's not.
I could, so I'm like,
However,
what?
I do leave you. I do leave you alone when it comes to your studio. Now, if you're outside the house in the studio, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because that's a safe haven for you as well.
Yeah.
You can actually go in there and be good. You don't even have to be in the house. Now, I don't go in there and be a busybody. I go in there ever so often, and I clean the bathroom. May sweep up every once
Like
in a
I
while.
didn't clean it,
No, but
but I
it's a
didn't clean
part
it
of the
like she
house.
cleaned it.
And it depends.
Oh,
When
no,
you
I
have
love it.
people
I love it.
come,
Don't
when
change.
you have people coming over or going to the studio, I want it to be clean. But you have your own space. So if you are that upset where you don't want to be under the in the home,
Yeah.
but under the same roof,
Yeah.
we have plenty space here.
We do. But like I said, that would just depend on how OCD the other person is, because I just thought about that because I'm in a relationship with you. I'm like, yeah, we could have our own rooms and that would be cool.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be cool for me, but we could work it if we had to. But I know that you would trip because you would just go and check in my room to see if everything was neat.
Mhm.
And if there was anything out of place, it would bother you. And then now you're going to be mad because you got to clean up 2 rooms.
Right. Yes. The cleaning of 2 rooms. Yeah.
Do I know my wife?
You do. You know me very well.
So I'm like, let's just,
You're making more work for me. And then I'm thinking about, okay, did he do that on purpose?
right. Not to do it. We have our own room so we can be our own people. But now she's taking it as a personal affront,
Right.
because I'm being
It's
my
a
own
personal
person.
attack
in
because
my
you
own
know
room.
that I have to go in that room, and I have to whenever you come out, I have to go in there. I'm going to go in there and disinfect. I'm gonna sweep and mop, and I'm going to clean the bathroom, and that's more work for me.
But if it's my room,
Yeah, I mean, but I'm spoiled now. One room.
There
I'm
you go.
spoiled now.
yeah. So okay. So Sean and Vanessa on same house, different rooms.
Mm.
No,
No,
2 thumbs
that's
down.
not going to work.
Look, 2 thumbs down.
It's not going to work.
Okay. So now, same city,
Hmm.
different houses.
That's ridiculous to me. I'm sorry. No. Why?
What if
Wha-
what if we had $100 million?
No. Why? That doesn't even make sense to me, because if you want to be, well, okay, don't call it marriage. Marriage to me is you are coming together and making a commitment to spend your lives together. You know what I'm saying? To becoming one. I can't say that I get with that. I just can't, because why get married if you want to be in the same city and have your own home? And it just doesn't make sense to me. Why get married? You can just date long term. I
Date?
mean, it's true.
So that's kind of like before I came along. That's what you were doing.
What do you mean? I wasn't in a relationship with anybody long term before I
You know
met
what I'm
you.
saying? You were like,
right.
That's
Continue doing that.
Your thing was when I want to be bothered,
Right.
I'll call.
Right. Exactly.
And
You
if I
know.
don't,
And then I wasn't, and the thing about it is that even before we got married, we were committed to each other. I wasn't really committed to anybody.
no. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like before, your attitude was, when I want to be bothered.
Yes.
But if I don't want to be bothered,
we can
we
do
talk
all
on the phone
things,
for a little
yeah.
while. But then I don't want to be bothered.
Right. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me. Well, like, why? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, to some, it may, but they would have to, I need the reasons, because I need them to explain it to me, because that's not a marriage.
So we're gonna have to find a couple that's married.
Yeah, I would love
once this
to have
podcast blows up, we're gonna have access to more people.
To have a conversation about that, because I want to understand it,
because it works for some people.
It works for some people, and I want to know for them, how does that work?
Yeah.
And let's take money out of it. I don't care how much money I have. If we're going to be married and make this life commitment, this covenant, I don't understand how that works. I just don't.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So my thing is same city, different houses. The only way just trying to figure out why it happened that way is that, I have been in my house for 15 years. You have been in your house for 15 years. We started dating. We've been dating. We decided to get more serious about the date, about our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to get married. Until we get married. But we've been living in the way we want to live, in the neighborhoods that we love. And neither one of us want to give that up. And so to keep the relationship cool, we say, okay, well, we'll just keep our houses
Mm-hmm.
and just live where we want to live when we want to live there. So I could see like work week,
Mm-hmm.
right? The work, if we have the same schedule, Monday through Friday, daytime,
Mm-hmm.
then I can see, 2-3 times a week where we're at each other's house, something like that. Weekend, we pick a house and we're at that house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being a thing if we were so entrenched in our way of life, in our neighborhood, in our homes, that we didn't want to give that up. And that was the compromise that we made to be married. I could see it kind of going that way. And then with the individual rooms, I could see, you like it cold, I like it hot. It is a deal breaker. I need my own room where I can crank the air conditioner up, or, I need my own room where we're going to close the vents. And at night, I'm going to put the heater on so that I can be warm, then I think it'll work that way.
I have one better.
Go ahead.
Where children are involved. You both have kids, and your kids, this is their home. Their home.
That's a wrinkle.
That, to me, that would make more sense if you didn't want to take the kids out of their environments.
And you don't necessarily have the means to go and buy a bigger house to put 8 people in or 7 people in.
Yes.
See, we're finding the conditional things that can make it happen.
Yeah. To me, I could, that would make sense. And especially if they are like have the neighborhoods that we have.
Yeah.
And they're already, in the schools where they need to be, where they're thriving.
You both have teenagers.
Yes.
You got 2, he got 3. Your bedroom, your bedroom is a 4-bedroom house. His is a 3-bedroom house. So you don't have enough bedrooms to house all the people.
No. Yeah.
And and each teenager has amassed a good bit of things. And
privacy too for
and
teenagers,
because they
can't mix with the
they're stepsisters now.
Right.
They're not sisters. So you put them in the same room, and now
unless they want, unless they have gotten that kind of relationship where they really feel like they can live
Yeah,
together
yeah.
in the same room.
And depending on what kind of
And-
bed they were sleeping
exactly.
in. If you spoil them like we spoil our kids, and everybody got a queen size bed, ain't nobody breaking it down to no full size.
No. Mm-mm.
They don't want to do that.
No.
Then that's the ongoing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So while you were talking, I was like, you know what? I thought about that, like with kids, when you're dealing with both of them with kids, or even one with kids, with a few kids, and the other doesn't. Sometimes you don't want to tear them away from what they know.
But if you only got one with kids, and that's a no-brainer, because you just moving into the room with the mama or the daddy. That's not a space issue.
Yeah, but sometimes that would be a deal breaker. I could see how that would be. They want them to, okay, so can we just give it, like, we'll give it maybe 3 years. They'll be graduated out of school. We'll keep it like this
And we'll
for
just
right
make it
now,
work.
and then we'll make it work. And then after they graduate, then we will come together.
Yeah, that's possible. That's a possible. We just talking this thing out.
Yeah.
But
just being without all of that. That is what I was saying. Like, I know without having those kinds of circumstances, no.
Okay. So Vanessa's is a no, but we also mine is a no, but we also understand that there are conditions in which separate houses in the same city are a necessity,
right,
and can work. Right. We understand that that's a possibility, could be a necessity. Now, different cities. We won't even broach the different countries, because that's
no, different cities.
Y'all just kicking it.
That it depends on how far the cities are, because there's some states where
California to LA.
okay,
LA to New York.
Okay.
Or Louisiana to Chicago, or just two totally different cities.
Yeah, and people do that all the time.
Married people live in different cities,
especially those who are have different those like they're actors and things like that.
Yeah, so those types of people do that. But I don't know how many.
But I'm not regular people. I don't know
how many big time actors gonna be watching the Better Marriage Daily podcast,
right,
although they should,
right,
because they would learn a lot.
But sometimes people. There's some circumstances where people are doing that for a while, and then they'll be like, okay, this is ridiculous. We can't be just spending money flying back and forth and all this other stuff.
And in that case, I believe that the reason that they live in different cities is because my job pays me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Your job pays you a lot of money.
Yeah.
My job is my life's work. Your job is your life's work. It ain't about the money. It's your life's work. We really love each other. And my job is high intensive. It's a time intensive. Your job is time intensive. And so we just make sure that every, like Sheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, we just make sure that every 2 weeks we in the house.
Right.
We either meet in the middle or we go to each other's place, we reconnect, and then go back out and do the work.
Yeah. I mean, it can work. It just takes effort.
Yeah. Bottom line, any domicile situation can work if you've made the commitment to work it.
Exactly.
But like just like I was saying earlier about life imitating art, so in this case it'd be life imitating social media. We don't want to look at social media and have people say, well, Sheryl Lee Ralph and her husband live in different cities and they've been successfully married for this, that, and the other. Yeah, but Sheryl Lee Ralph will be on a movie set where she's grinding 18 hours a day for months at a time. And he's a lawyer? He's a lawyer,
I don't
doctor.
know. I don't.
He's in a profession that requires a lot of time. So he's rolling. But you have a 9 to 5. Your husband got a 9 to 5, and y'all being away from each other and have all that idle time gonna be a problem.
Potentially.
Take from your uncle, cousin Sean. It's gonna be a problem.
I mean, and you in the business that you're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of them have had to really do, put some effort in their marriages or relationships and make hard decisions as well. Because as a musician, you have to go where they're.
Because now that we're in it, so as a musician, it could be like I live in another city.
Right.
When I'm busy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, we still touching base every 2-3 weeks. So, you know what I'm saying? If I'm on tour, then it's I'm gone for a chunk of time. But if not, I'm gone and I'm back. I'm gone and I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we got to soften our stance a little bit to say that it could possibly work. But it's special circumstance. Yeah. When you're married, I believe when you're married, that togetherness is why you decided to get married.
Right.
Because I like making my life with you. And if you spend so much time apart and you have all the things that are just yours, then that also, in my opinion, leaves room for something to come in between. Mm-hmm. That's a wedge. That's a crack that can become a wedge, that can become a valley, that can become a canyon.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? That can become an ocean.
Yes.
Ooh, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Heavy on the ocean.
Heavy on the ocean. So, you know, mm-hmm. I just think that, number one, we don't ever discuss the D word. It's never an option. Mm-hmm. Number two, the compromise of marriage is what makes the bond so strong, I believe. The fact that it's a give and take.
Yeah.
Right? There was some tension there. And how do you build a muscle? You build the muscle from giving resistance mm-hmm. and breaking down that muscle so that whenever it recovers, it's stronger than it was before. Mm-hmm. So together, we are a lot stronger than we are independently.
Right.
You know.
Well, I mean, the prime example is I moved here.
Yeah. So we lived it.
We lived it.
We lived it. We made the decision because we understood that living in two different cities.
Mm-hmm. I lived in Texas. He lived in Louisiana.
She lived in Port Arthur. I lived in Lake Charles. Yeah. 45 minutes. And again, that's like living across town in Houston.
Yes.
Like living across town in Houston or a big city.
But I know that potentially that was going to be a problem. And you know it too.
Yeah, because it's already hard enough, y'all. When you married, it's hard enough to consider the other person and come outside of yourself to be available and to be loving with the person that you're with. Then you want to add time and distance to that equation.
To that. It's difficult.
You're setting yourself up for some serious failure when you do that, or for potential failure.
Yeah.
You know, again, it's not impossible. Sheryl Lee Ralph, were they 26 years, 27 years, something like that?
It's a long time.
They've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Oprah Winfrey and Stedman. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've ever lived together. I think they've always had their own stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But those
we're
are very
saying that it can work. But for he and I, we knew that it was not going to work. Even though I moved here, I was commuting back and forth for 17 years. However, I lived here. We lived under one roof when we got married.
Yep.
You know, so we didn't have that added tension.
Oh, look,
and distraction.
Since we going back
from
when we were dating and when we were engaged, we were kind of living in two different cities.
Mm-hmm.
We were living. Look at us. We were living in two different cities. Yep. And whenever she'd get off on the weekend, the deal was two different states. The deal was when she would get off of work, she would come and spend the weekend with us.
Mm-hmm. Friday to Sunday.
And
depends on when my days off changed.
Yeah. If the days off changed, whenever those were.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And for a person with OCD, no, she doesn't have OCD.
I don't
want to put that on her because that would be, if she had OCD, Lord, it'd be a problem. But anyway, so she'd have to come into a house that was all male.
Yes.
She'd come from her nice, tidy environment in Port Arthur and clean and everything, and then come to our nice, tousled, clean environment. Because it was never dirty.
Oh, but it was tousled.
It was just a little tousled.
It was tousled. And boys.
2 boys and a man.
2 boys, a man. And then I'm coming into that after they've had all week to do what they wanted to do, just free.
Should have seen the day before she came.
They were running. I'm sure they were running around the house.
Cleaning up.
Trying to get things done.
cleaning up.
You know, I
'Cause the
understood what my
first-
daddy felt like.
Because
I
the
did.
first thing she was gonna do when she walked in the house,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They would read. They could read the look on my face.
start bumping them gums.
Because in my mind, I had to put my things down and start cleaning.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at that time. I
Like,
understand it now, but I
yes.
didn't understand it.
So I had to start cleaning immediately.
I had to defend the boys. I was like, "Hey, chill out. Why you hollering? The first thing you do when you walk in, you start hollering at them boys. They ain't seen you all week. One of them is your blood, one of them is not. But you hollering at both of them, and they both don't understand why you hollering, and they ain't seen you in a week." You're like, well, I can't understand why this house is dirty. I can't understand why I got to come in after I've been working to come in here and do these dishes that been in the sink. How long has this been in the sink, Sean? Baby, that's a cup and a knife, and it just been in there and it's mine.
It was more than that.
No, we didn't leave dishes in the sink, girl.
It was
Stop
more
it.
than that.
You never came home and there was dishes in the
was
sink
more
like
than
that.
that.
No, stop it.
You did. I mean, you did your best
Stop
to
it.
make.
I did my best. But I guess my best wasn't good.
No, you did your
enough.
best to make sure that I didn't have to come back, and after a few times.
A
you was
few
like,
times.
You were like, you know what? Yeah, you didn't tell me you were going to do better. You just did better.
Yeah.
So I was satisfied.
Because I understood that the more time she come in bumping them gums,
Less time I have to spend with them.
less time I get.
Yeah,
for me.
that's true.
And
That's
the
true.
longer before I could even get my time.
Yes,
Because now she got
yes.
to calm down.
Yeah. And now I'm worn out. I'm tired
And mad,
and mad.
frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no atmosphere for no loving.
Nope, it was not. So we all got it together.
So to recap, for Sean and Vanessa, living in the same house, in the same room, in the same bed, 2 thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, baby. Living in the same house, in the same room, in separate beds, 2 thumbs down. Living in the same house, in different rooms, 2 thumbs down. Living in the same city, different houses, thumbs down. Living
us,
in the
yeah.
same country, 2 different cities, thumbs down.
Yeah,
Living in different countries, we ain't even gonna
we're
talk
not doing
about
it.
So basically, y'all, we
We
went.
to another country. I'm coming. I'm coming with you.
So basically, y'all, we have gone through the different scenarios of living together as married couples that we could think about. And at first, when we first thought about it, we were like, oh, hell no, there ain't no way we're going to do that.
Mhm.
But then after we got into it and we started remembering that we too started out in a similar situation. So we understand that there are exceptions to every rule, but when possible, not just because of a creature comfort, but when it's an actual necessity, then it can work and you make the adjustments. But the optimum stage, the optimum living situation in marriage is together, same room, same bed.
Mm.
Now, there are people who snore and don't want to go and get a CPAP machine. And in that case, I do know people who have lived in different rooms because they're like, he snores too much. I can't sleep. So when it's time to go to bed, he got to go in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
I do know about that.
Yep.
There is that.
Yep. Yep.
And there's
Exactly.
situations in which, but so at the end of the day, work what works for you, but understand that whenever you start to separate, that is a crack in the foundation that can then become a wedge, that can then become a crater, that can then become a canyon, that will eventually become an ocean. And then you'll be filing for irreconcilable differences.
Mm.
So until next time, we hope that blessed you. We hope that helped you. Until next time, I'm Sean.
And I'm V.
And this has been Better Marriage Daily, where we help you get tips to have a better marriage daily while you are loving each other in spite of each other. So until next time, we'll holler.
Baby, I'm gonna take my time.